Well, welcome everyone. I'm Karen LaFrazia. I'm the president and CEO here at St. Francis House, and welcome to, I think, our third now State of the Agency address. I am joined here today with Andrea Farina, our Vice President of Program Strategy and Initiatives, and we're here to talk about the crisis at Mass and Cass and the St. Francis House response to that, and that's the Willows at Woods. And what we're hoping to be able to do today is to share with you how far we've come in a very, very short span of time in meeting the needs of some extremely vulnerable women within the homeless population that were staying in tents down in the encampments at Mass Ave. The city approached us and asked us to join in an effort with them, the Boston Public Health Commission, Boston Healthcare for the Homeless, other homeless and healthcare providers. And we were asked to create a new type of transitional shelter specifically for women. And the focus on that shelter really needed to be first and foremost on keeping people safe. These are women that have been staying in the tents, some for multiple years. And so while the first goal and objective is always safety, but it's also with the ultimate goal of being able to move women on a path to recovery and to permanent housing. And we were able to identify with the Boston Public Health Commission a space in the city of Boston's women's shelter. It's known as Woods Mullen. And we were able to turn that into a fully staffed, dignified, welcoming, safe, as I said before, transitional shelter. So we had to create something that was different. It was something that would not just be your traditional low threshold shelter, but it had to be a shelter that first embraced our philosophy of care, that it really was centered on each person as a unique individual, that it really wrapped the values of being recovery oriented. And that it really understood the trauma, the significant trauma that women in particular were experiencing out on the streets.
This is the Woods Mullen shelter for women that's operated by the Boston Public Health Commission. It's still operational. And what we have is the 5th floor of this building. So we share the building. The traditional shelter operates under their guidance and the 5th floor operates under ours. But the site was raw at the time. And we needed to make it warm and bring it to life. I talked before about the commitment that our staff made, just right off the bat. We could not have opened without that commitment. We found 2 wonderful people who had background and complementary skills in the treatment world and in homeless services to come and operate the site. So we had the photo from before, a more traditional shelter. And the Willows shelter, we really wanted to make it as warm and comfortable as possible in all the ways that we present the space. So you'll notice that these are home-like comforters, home-like dressers. Every woman who comes to our shelter has their own designated bed, a lamp, a dresser that is theirs and theirs alone. I'll show you later. They have their own locker where they can store things that they want to keep safe and private for themselves. So it was really important and is really important that the women who come to us have that kind of consistency and that sense of home. So every woman has their own bed that's theirs, and they keep that from day to day for as long as they're there. We have open access living and dining area. We do receive meals in our partnership with the Health Commission. They provide the meals to us and they're brought to the floor by our staff every day. But if a woman isn't there to eat her meal at the time it comes, that's okay. It's going to be in the fridge and she can have it later. So this is open access 24 hours a day to eat when it suits you, to relax when it suits you. It's a gathering space, and we really appreciate that. Another really important component of our work is that we have nursing on site. Boston Healthcare for the Homeless is a fantastic partner to St. Francis House in general, and certainly in this process. And they've provided us not only with training, but with active support on site. The Health Commission has arranged for us to have some nursing overnight. And what having nursing does is a few things. One, It allows us to, if a woman is experiencing the effects of an opiate overdose and becomes very sedated, we don't have to have a black or white response. It doesn't have to be necessarily a moment of fear for the staff or the other women. It doesn't have to be an abrupt Narcan response that brings them back in a very challenging way.
Right.
It can be, let's just make sure she's okay.
Mhm.
You know, is her breathing okay? Is she getting enough oxygen? Is she being cared for? Is her body handling it? And I think the thing that makes the most difference is that the women are starting to call it home. And we've heard from people and other providers in the community who've known some of them individually over time for years and years, who are amazed. You know, I can't believe that, Susie, that Susie is still there. I can't believe that she stayed.
Yeah, right.
I
right.
heard her say she's going home. So the fact that it's having that impact is huge. When they first come in,
Yeah,
I mean, it's like the first 2 days are nothing but eating and sleeping.
right. It's just
They're
exhausted.
they're exhausted, absolutely exhausted. Over time, we've started to see that people are accepting treatment,
Mhm.
seeking out treatment.
Mhm.
They are reducing their use. So where maybe at first they were much more chaotic, we've seen them settle in to more of a routine, to more consistency. And consistency is the foundation in so many ways of being able to establish a new way of life. I mean, there was one, Karen, I know I told you about this, but there was a woman who was really, what we might say decompensating. She was really struggling with deep trauma. She had used, she has some mental health concerns that need to be addressed, just very complicated, and was just kind of falling apart. And our staff went in and she's just on the floor, crumpled up, and just held her and said, it's going to be okay, and just sat with her and then tucked her into bed that night. And I know, when I heard about this story, I mean, I get it now, the goosebumps, because what the staff person told me, and it brought tears to her eyes, is she tucked her in, and the woman looked at her and said, why do you care? Why do you care about me? Why are you doing this for me? Nobody's ever done this for me. And it's those moments, and I know they happen even more often than I know, because it's the day-to-day lives of what it means as somebody is starting to feel that they have value again and are valued.
Thank you all for your support, and look forward to talking with you again and reporting further out on this. Be well and have a great day.
Thank you all.